to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our first Board of Ed meeting for the school year. Before I get started, you might notice that Lori Giacobbe, our Vice President, is not at the dais for the moment. We wish to congratulate Lori and her family on the birth of their beautiful little boy, Lewis. So Lori should be back, I think, for the next board meeting. So she's taken a couple of weeks off, but she's been helping us, but we just wanted to take a moment to congratulate her. And then I'm going to turn this over to Cassidy for our high school student report.
So good evening, East Chester community. Welcome back to the new school year. As everyone is adjusting to this new year, I would like to announce a few upcoming events. The sports teams are coming back into the new school year very strong, as there has been some exciting wins. I'm also happy to announce our homecoming weekend starts on Friday, September 27th, with the varsity football team playing under the lights, here at the high school turf. The next day, we then have girls varsity soccer at 5 and boys varsity soccer at 7, also here at the high school turf. We strongly encourage students and parents to join, as it is an exciting weekend. Also, on the Eagle Nation Instagram, all the sports team schedules are posted. The Instagram provides time, dates, and locations, so stay tuned for current updates and upcoming events. Clubs have also started here at East Chester. I strongly encourage Eagles to join clubs, as there is a wide variety and many fun activities. And the last thing I would like to announce is the pep rally will be held on Friday, September 27th during the school day, giving every student a chance to attend. Please be ready to show your school spirit. Good night, and thank you for supporting all of us Eagles.
Thank you, Cassidy. We really appreciate that. And now I'm going to actually turn the mic over to Jackie for special announcements.
Thank you, Christine. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the new director of JAZCO, Ms. Claire Connolly, who's here with us tonight. Ms. Connolly actually graduated from East Chester High School in 2010 and has been working with JAZCO since 2015 and is now the new director. We are all very excited and can't wait to see what's in store, so welcome. Just a few back-to-school announcements. The open house for Greenville is tomorrow night, and their welcome back event is Friday from 5 to 8. Waverly's open house is Thursday, and Hutch next Wednesday, the 18th. The middle school is September 26th, and the high school is September 19th. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. Are there any committee reports?
I just have a couple of comments this evening as we started to kick off for the school year. And one of them is about transportation. As many of you know, in this district, usually the first couple of days, it's a little dicey, the buses are late, we're not exactly sure about the new routes, we have new bus drivers. And I have to say this year, thanks to Chris Reichard, who I know is not here tonight, she is an unsung hero in this district. We started the school year without any issues in terms of transportation, and additionally, some of you in the public may know, I was fortunate enough to be at the Waverly Open House. I had an incoming kindergartner, and Chris was actually there with the bus drivers and the monitors doing dry runs for our youngest students to make sure that they were comfortable with the routes, with the monitors, with the buses. So job well done, Chris. Thank you for that. I know it's not always easy. Secondarily, as we begin this school year, we have another unsung hero, and I think most folks in the public don't necessarily recognize what this job entails, how much work is required, and the commitment to the community and how much this person actually works with the community in a wide variety of ways. Our district clerk, Lori Parada, is an unsung hero in this district. Lori, could you please stand up for a second, please? For those of you that don't know, the district clerk works for the Board of Education. The district clerk also works back with community members on a wide variety of issues. Some of those we've seen play out here in the public forum. But not only does Lori deal with a wide variety of things and is a catch-all for us, she does it with a smile on her face, she does it with a can-do attitude, and her responsiveness to go the extra mile to help not just the board members, but individuals in the community is something that we have to applaud you for. So, Lori, on behalf of the Board of Education, we thank you for your diligence and for all the work that you do for us. So again, thank you very much. And runs a little thing called an election every May, which is no easy task. Thank you. So, Christina, I don't know if anybody else has anything, but I'll turn it over to you.
Anybody have any other community reports? So with that, I will start with my board report. As I said, this is our first school board of the year. We hope that this school year brings much academic success as well as friendship and memories to all our students. As many of you know, we are heading into the final year of Dr. Valenti's contract, which ends on August 31st, 2025. We made a promise to the community to conduct a comprehensive and open search, which is currently underway. The board has met with and retained district-wide search, or DWS, to assist with this undertaking. Members of DWS are here tonight to present to the community a synopsis of the search for a superintendent and a timeline of events. Our goal is to have a new superintendent selected by March of 2025 with the start date of July 2025. Given that time frame, we have agreed to convert the final 65 days of Dr. Valenti's contract to a consultancy agreement, of which he will report directly to the board only. Dr. Valenti will devote his time to onboarding the new superintendent, as well as reviewing, analyzing, and making recommendations to the board on an array of topics that we determine. The consultancy days run through December 31st, 2025. Now, for clarity, this is not an additional cost to the district, nor is this a contract extension. Dr. Valenti has a plethora of knowledge that the board wishes to draw upon, and we wish to thank Dr. Valenti for his service to the board as well as this district. And with that being said, do I have a motion to approve Dr. Valenti's superintendent contract for the 2024-2025 school year?
I'll make the motion.
Matt, do I have a second? Christie? All in favor? All right, thank you, that motion passes. Now, do I have a motion for the consultant agreement with Dr. Valenti?
Make that motion as well.
Thank you, Matt. Second for Rob, all in favor? Excellent, so the motion passes. And so with that being said, we have Dr. Valenti's contracts in place. I would like to introduce Bob and Hillary. Joanne, I'm sorry, Bob and Joanne from DWS to provide their presentation to the board and to the community.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Fryer. This is Joanne Kaplan from District-Wide Search Consultants, and we are the firm that your board hired to find the next superintendent of schools. Sorry, am I supposed to face you or? Okay.
Whatever your pleasure.
Okay. I'm Bob Fryer, just to give you a little brief synopsis of ourselves and what we're doing. I've been in the executive search business for over 30 years. Helping build technology startup companies, and then I became a school board member back in 2008 out on Long Island, and was on my school board, served as vice president of the school board, done a lot of work in terms of searches. We've done searches all across New York now for 15 years, and basically we have successfully completed every single search we've ever done. And we were also involved in a number of other things, such as a Women of Color Collaborative and making sure we're sort of in touch with, not just current superintendents, but all future superintendents as well.
I'm doing half when I go as Hillary this evening, if you'd like. Hillary's a little taller, and she's an attorney, and I was a teacher, so, but we both have the same goal in mind, and that is to work with the school districts to bring the best leaders, the right fits for community and for students. Bob and I started this company about 15 years ago because it was really important for us to find the right fit and not to just place somebody in a school district, but to really understand the community and staff and learn about what's really important so that we can find the right fit for you.
Hillary, who is at her own board meeting tonight, couldn't be here, but she is an education attorney by trade, by background. She lives in Chappaqua. She is actually a trustee on the Chappaqua School Board. She was the president of the school board last year. She's involved in negotiations. She's very active in her community. She also teaches about education law as well.
So, why did the district choose District Wise? Well, probably most and foremost because we don't wait for people just to apply for a job. We go out and recruit. And so how do we know how to recruit? Well, we listen to community, we listen to staff, we listen to students, we listen to the board. We put together questions, and we really put a personal approach on each one of our searches. So what we would do here is not the same thing that we would do in another district because we do really hone in the search per district that we work for. And as Bob shared before, he was a board member, I was a board member on the same board, and we have Hillary who has joined us, and so we kind of expand through the state of New York.
So I guess if you see the theme here, we come at it from a school board member's perspective as opposed to former superintendents. So again, very much individual attention or individualized attention. What we're going to be doing is, we're working with Lori right now to set up dates. There will be a number of forums. We're going to have a community forum, and that'll be for anyone to come to. It'll be in the evening, probably within the next several weeks. That'll be done hybrid. So we'll be here to do it live. At the same time, we'll be offering it on Zoom, and it's actually worked out very well. And for parents that have young children and can't leave them, they can participate that way. And the idea is to get everyone's input into what we should be looking for in a superintendent.
I just want to add to it, we also will be speaking to staff, to students. We don't want to just speak to parents, we want to speak to senior citizens, and we want to speak to people that might not have children that are in school yet. And what we do with all of that information is we gather it, and we use that when we go out and recruit, but we also use that to form questions. So when we're interviewing people and we're screening people, the data that we receive, it's crucial, because without your input, we don't really know the questions we should be asking or what qualities the community, staff wants. And so it is really crucial in creating that profile.
Right, and this is everyone's chance to have an input into the search as well. We have access to a national audience. The school board has continual access to us, and we just learned, and it's great that the board is going to have Dr. Valenti here to help with the transition as well. So, and the other thing, by the way, we offer, we have given the board a 2-year full guarantee. If for any reason we don't expect it to, but for any reason, if something shouldn't work out, we will redo the search for.
That's how sure we feel about the candidates we bring forward.
Okay.
So we are also very well aware of, although we have been doing this for 15 years, we are not administrators. And so we put together a panel of people that really help us. We reach out to them for back channel reference checks. We reach out to them through their networking, and they come to the table with a plethora of backgrounds, superintendents, assistant superintendents, teachers, university professors, principals, you name it, they've worn that hat.
One thing we do keep in mind very much, and when we're talking to candidates, is keep in mind and promote the mission of the school district. So any candidate we talk to, they need to buy into that in a big way. So, and that's something we are continually promoting with the potential candidate pool out there.
So we put together a timeline, the appointment district-wise, the application opened in June, and it will stay open until probably December 1st, I believe. We're going to start the forum September, October. Lori and I are just starting to work on that. Then we will present the board with a slate of candidates and in February, and hopefully the appointment in March. Just to let you know, somebody doesn't just apply for a job. So they may have been recruited, or they might have seen the advertisement. We put them through a gamut of tasks. So they have to create videos. They have to create projects. We ask them questions that we gathered and created from you, but we also ask them traditional questions. So there's several different steps that they go through before they will even have the opportunity to meet the Board of Education.
So this is just a brief sampling of some of the school districts we've worked with in the past. It's by no means a complete list. Feel free to look at our website, but we really hope everyone participates in the forums, and as a matter of fact, they're doing a survey as well, right?
They are doing a survey, and everything will be up on the website as well, so there'll be different ways that you'll be able to.
And there will be periodic updates on the website as well as to where we are. One thing I just didn't mention also is that the big reason we started the firm is that we believe, and certainly it's proven out over the years, that your best candidates aren't necessarily looking. And that's proven out over 15 years in business now. Over 95% of our clients in the placements for superintendents, over 95% are people that we specifically recruited rather than someone who applied cold from an ad. And we do put the ads up also, so you never know, we can get a rock star that way, but we find the best candidates aren't necessarily looking. So with that, if anyone in the audience has any questions, or anyone on the board has any questions, happy to answer them.
I would just like to add, Andre, thank you guys very much for that presentation, because I think this is obviously the first exposure to the community at large. And just to be very clear, as this board started the process of interviewing and going through different search firms, the reason why we chose these individuals that are here with us tonight, and they highlighted some of this, was the personalized service, but it was also their constant exploration for input from a wide variety of groups. And I think you've heard from this board consistently over the past several years that community input is extremely important. And when I talk about community input, it's not just from the community at large. It's from our administrators, it's from our teachers, it's from our CSEA, it's from all the people that are in these buildings each and every day. That input is extremely valuable, and the personalized approach that these individuals take to soliciting that information from you is critical. So I would say to all of our staff and to our parents, please participate. Let us know your thoughts and what you're looking for. That is really going to help us craft the path forward. So thank you in advance.
Not just one avenue to do that. We'll be setting up an email address where people can send input that way. Sometimes you'll go to a meeting and then afterwards you think, oh, I really wish I would have shared that. You'll have that, and as Bob said, there'll also be a survey. You'll see there'll be many different ways in which you can give input.
And just, after all of the forums are done, we take the info from all of the forums and put them together in what we call a climate report that we give to the board. So we don't include any names of who said what. Everything is confidential, but we do include what was said. And so the board gets that feedback from the community and the staff. So, any other questions?
Can I ask a question? Will you seek input from, and maybe you said this, but students, like the Eastchester government officers, just kind of the different contingents? Wonderful.
As you said, Robin Lilroy.
Unsung hero.
Yes.
Yes, we, and yeah, Lori becomes one of our closest friends during this, so we speak to her and hear from her a lot, so. And we look forward to meeting everyone in the community and bringing a superstar to lead the district starting next year and into the future.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Bob. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Joanne. I really appreciate you taking the time to come to advise the community, because like we said, this is going to be, it's a community effort searching for a new superintendent. And I want to thank Matt and Chrissy for finding you and bringing you to the board's attention. So we look forward for the endeavors of finding a new superintendent. Thank you. Thank you. And so now we are up to the superintendent's report.
Okay.
The floor is yours, Dr. Valenti.
So first of all, I want to say to Lori Jacoby, I know you're out there, Lori, because you've attended meetings with me and Christine over the last few weeks. We're delighted that Lewis came upon us, 6 pounds, 8 ounces, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? I thought that was an important point to make, and we're so very happy for Lori and her family. I also want to thank the board for the confidence they've shown me for the past 2 years and for this coming year, and also for inviting me to continue to work with you and the new superintendent. I look forward to doing that, and I have worked with Bob's firm. Quite frankly, we were involved with Greg's search, and they did speak to me about Greg Stowell prior to his appointment in Garrison. So they're very methodical, and I think you've made a great choice. So on that note, to an abbreviated superintendent's report. Show us what you did. And I want to thank everybody out here. You've got teachers and administrators. You've got a team that worked hard to bring this district forward in terms of student achievement and student performance. Right now, you're looking at data that shows Eastchester in ELA this past spring was 69% proficiency. Now, what does proficiency mean? It means the percentage of students, grades 3 through 8, who are either at a proficient reading level or at a mastery reading level. The other levels are either unsatisfactory or developing, where you don't want to be. So we've moved over this last few years in ELA, which is a tough climb, by the way, from 67 to 69%. Now, some may say, well, that's only 2 percentage points. Can we do better? Well, the short answer is yes, we can and will do better. And this coming year, we expect next spring we're going to do even better than 69%. But the point is that compared to the county, we're working above the county's performance, and certainly, as we would expect, above the state. Where you really saw the eagle soar, and Bob Jacoby provided us the soaring eagle in this slide and following slides, we really moved the needle, right? Our math for the past 2 years has been 82%. And you've heard me say repeatedly for the past 2 years, if you get into the 80% bracket, now you're into competitive district territory. That's where the Blindbrooks, the Rise, and the Scarsdales are living. And that's where Eastchester ought to be living. We need to move into the top 10. and 82% begins to get you there, all right? So that's a very important number, and if we got there in ELA, either in the short or the longer term, this is the direction that we need to accomplish. Looking at it from a different type of graph, going from a bar to a line graph, you see how math moved dramatically in 1 year and then has leveled off at 82%. How ELA has gradually moved up to 69%. So we want that eagle to soar higher, and we'd like to see the math move more dramatically. We have some ideas and tools on how to get there. So I talked about competitive districts, and they keep changing. You're going to see different competitive districts as we look at different grade levels. But it's important to see who our neighbors are, and some of them are pretty consistent. But let's look at grade 4 ELA. Remember, that's where we're at 69%. We'd like to go even higher. But kudos to the grade 4 teachers, because they came in at 75% proficiency, which is above the 69% in the aggregate for grades 3 to 8. And notice that 75% got us within 12 ranking with the districts. You see where our neighbors are and how important it is to get into the 80% or better range in order to become more competitive. In the second column, year by grade level, again, we're going to offer kudos to those teachers, because that particular grade a year ago performed at 71%. So there has been an improvement in proficiency going from grade to grade in rank order from 19th to 12th. If you look at that particular grade when they were performing a year earlier, now you're looking at 63%. So the point is, that is a grade that has shown demonstrable growth, and cohort-to-cohort measurement demonstrable growth as well. I won't go into this detail for each one, but I think it's important to note that at grade 4, those math teachers really did a terrific job. They brought us into 4th place with 92% proficiency. So that is extremely distinctive. We want to know more what those 4th grade teachers did, and we want to look deeper into the work that they're doing specifically, and they really improved on all counts, comparing it year by grade level, as you can see, and also year by cohort. Not to be left out on middle school, Math 6. They did show at 11th place in terms of 84%. Again, 2 percentage points above the aggregate of the group. Again, extremely commendable, better than the prior year, and higher than that cohort had performed. So I think you're beginning to see a story here that at certain grade levels, we've got the formula and the algorithm pretty well down, and we want that to now become infectious throughout all grade levels. Again, not to exclude the middle school, grade 8 as well. We want to commend them being at 78% with the math and ranking 10th compared to the districts that you see listed here. So, in short, we've had some wins. Our ELA percent proficiency amongst Westchester districts, that is in English language arts, has improved over the past 2 years, 3 full spots to 18th. Okay? Our goal is to become part of the top 10. How do we get there? Our math proficiency amongst Westchester districts, pretty similar ones, increased 1 spot because we were fairly high to begin with, and we're now in the 11th place at 82%, 81.5 to be exact. So we're moving, we're delivering, we thank our teachers, we thank our administrators, and we're going to work even harder to do even better. 5 out of 6 grade levels in ELA and 4 out of 6 grade levels in math increased their ranking amongst Westchester districts when looking at year-to-year data. 3 out of 5 grade levels, now you may ask why 5 grade levels? Well, we don't have cohort data for grade 3, so you have to exclude 1. So you're just counting grade levels 4 through 8. 3 of those 5 grade levels in ELA, and again 3 out of 5 in math, increased in ranking. So we're moving, we're improving, we're demonstrating Eastchester students can do it, and do it better, and do it as well as amongst the most competitive districts. So congratulations to all. Our district-wide safety plan, a month ago, we stood here and talked about updating the plan. We had a 30-day public comment period. We completed that period, and then we learned that there were some additional emendations the State Education Department wanted to make, specifically that districts would not use live actors or people in any emergency drills. Under no circumstances would we do that. We do not think it's a wise strategy. So we've had to update our plan again, and we do open this again to the 30-day public comment period, so for the record. Finally, our school opening was extremely good. It was top-notch, and again, thanks to our administrators and teachers, and I'm glad, Matt, you acknowledged Chris Reichert. She was at a meeting with our teachers and administrators earlier today, and really spoke eloquently about the work she's doing in order to ensure that our transportation is top-notch. And she deals with parent issues very directly, very personally, and time is not an issue with Chris. Chris is there first in the morning. She's there one of the last to leave in the evening, and all the time in between, she's there working for the students to get them to school in a timely fashion. Yes, there were some buses that were late. Obviously, when you're starting a new school year, bus drivers themselves are learning the route. And of course, parents are there. They want to take pictures and photos. There are photo ops. That does make the stop a little bit longer than 30 seconds. So, we want to honor the parents, give them joy of their children riding for the first time. But I think once we get further into the school year, we're going to see buses in a more timely fashion. So on that note, I want to thank the board. Are there any questions at this time?
Dr. Lundy, I would just say, looking at the numbers and some of the growth here, I just want to thank the administrators, the teachers. Everything does take a village, and a lot of work went into this. It's a strategic goal and a priority for this board. And I know we have some here tonight, Ms. LeBou, Ms. Napolitano. Thank you guys for what you've done, and for those administrators that are not with us tonight. No easy task, looking at some of these competitive districts to move these numbers in a positive direction. Clearly, there's work that needs to be done, but we're on the right path. So thank you, and thanks to all of our teachers that have made this commitment to make this happen for our students.
Right, we have Adam and Brian who are involved in some of the testing that's done. Rachel, not quite yet. But we want to thank our faculty as well. They'll get the word out. Yeah.
And to thank our the parents too, who assist their children with homework and oversight, and, like Matt said, it truly is a village when it comes to education.
Exactly. Good. Okay, thank you all. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Valenti. So we are now up to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for the consent agenda? Oh, Jackie.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda, which includes the following: 7, approval of minutes; 8, personnel agenda; 9, committee on preschool special education recommendations; 10, pupil personnel recommendations; 11, business office recommendations.
Thank you, Jackie. Do I have a second? Sean? All in favor? Great. So for future meeting dates, the next meeting, September 24th, will be a work session, and then October 8th will be a regular session. So now we are up to the comments from the public. Just as a reminder, comments for the public, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. We always welcome public comments, but for this portion, we are trying to limit this to a total of 30 minutes. Each speaker will have approximately 3 minutes. As a reminder, this is not a question and answer session. Please be civil and refrain from mentioning anyone by name. If you would like to have a broader discussion on any topics, please feel free to contact the district or Dr. Valenti directly. Anyone? All right. So without any comments from the public, I will adjourn the meeting. Wait. I have a motion to adjourn. Sean, I'm so excited. All in favor. Thank you. Everybody goes.